Russian forces attacked Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, and the surrounding region, injuring at least 5 people. According to Kharkiv regional governor, the Russian guided bomb hit a supermarket in Kharkiv. The mayor said that the supermarket was located next to residents, adding that an earlier strike had hit a forested area of the city. Meanwhile, Russia says it claimed to have captured another Ukrainian village just a dozen kilometers away from Trokovsk as its troops advanced rapidly. The Russian Defense Ministry said it had liberated the settlement of Vichenev following offensive operations. In response to the recent strikes on Iranian military sites, Iran says it is preparing an attack on Israel using more powerful warheads and other weapons not used in its previous 2 attacks. A report says, citing Iranian and Arab officials. Iranian leaders have warned that they will give out a punishing reprisal attack against Israel for a series of retaliatory sorties on October 26th. The official said that the attack will target Israeli military sites much more aggressively than the last time, and that the Iraqi airspace may be used to launch the missiles. The Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli attacks in Gaza has crossed 43,000. Gaza-based health authorities said in the past 24 hours, the Israeli military operations in Gaza killed 27 people and wounded 86 others, bringing the total number of injuries to more than 102,000 since the current round of the Palestinian-Israel conflict broke out in early October. Meanwhile, Israeli Defense Forces continued airstrikes in the Gaza Strip on Sunday, targeting areas around several hospitals. Medics in the Gaza Strip say that Israeli airstrikes in the region on Sunday had resulted in at least 31 deaths, with nearly half of the casualties occurred in North Gaza. Democratic presidential contestant Kamala Harris has vowed to turn the page on a decade of politics driven by fear and division during a rally in East Lansing, Michigan. Harris described the upcoming election on November 5th as one of the most consequential elections of one's lifetime and expressed confidence that she would win the race for the White House. Donald Trump held a campaign rally at an airport in Kingston, North Carolina on Sunday, where he blasted longtime GOP leader and Senator Mitch McConnell, who was stepping aside from the post in January after almost 2 decades. South Dakota's John Thune, McConnell's current number 2, and John Cornyn of Texas, who held that job before Thune, are the frontrunners in the November 13th secret ballot to replace McConnell. The winner could steer the direction of the party for years to come and possibly become the next Senate Majority Leader if Republicans win enough seats in Tuesday's elections. Large security fences were seen being installed in Washington, D.C. ahead of the U.S. presidential polls, which is all set to take place on November 5th. It comes as intelligence officials have warned that Russia and Iran may consider encouraging violent demonstrations in the U.S. following the election. There are concerns of violence breaking out in the days after the election, fueled by disinformation, similar to the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. That was done by the supporters of former U.S. President Donald Trump. Moldova's pro-Western President Maia Sandu has won a second term in a pivotal presidential runoff against a Russia-friendly opponent, Alexander Stanogolo, in a race that was overshadowed by claims of Russian interference, voter fraud and intimidation. According to the Central Electoral Commission, with nearly 99% of votes counted in the second round of the election, which was held on Sunday, Sandu had 55% of the vote compared to 45% for Alexander Stiangolo, who is a former prosecutor general who was backed by the pro-Russia party of socialists. Three astronauts of China's Shenzhou 18 crewed space flight mission returned to Earth safely on Monday after completing their mission aboard the country's Tiangong space station. According to the China Manned Space Agency, the return capsule touched down at the Dongfeng landing site in North China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region at 1 a.m. local time. It said that all astronauts were in good physical condition and that the mission was a complete success. Bangladesh's interim government has officially changed the names of 14 hospitals and medical colleges. The names of the country's hospitals, named after former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, her father and former President Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and other Awami League associates, have now been replaced with the names of the districts where these hospitals and colleges are based. As per the circular, Sheikh Hasina National Institute of Burn and Plastic Surgery in Dhaka is now the National Institute of Burn and Plastic Surgery. Severe storms and tornadoes were reported overnight in Oklahoma's, which ripped the roofs, buildings and left about 33,000 homes and businesses without power. According to the officials, at least 11 people were taken to hospitals with injuries that were not life-threatening. Local television footage showed downed power lines, walls peeled off homes, overturned vehicles. At the University of Oklahoma, school officials had urged students and staff to seek shelter and move to the lowest floor as the storms approached the campus after midnight. A volcano in eastern Indonesia erupted overnight, killing at least 10 people as it spewed fireballs and ash, forcing authorities to evacuate to several nearby villages. Officials said that they have raised the alert status to its highest level after the eruption of Mount Laki. Eyewitnesses claim that 5 villages were evacuated, affecting thousands of residents. Options traders across markets appear to be reducing risk and bracing for more fluctuations as U.S. election looms. Equity options climbed through most of October, even as the market swings were muted. This came in anticipation of not just the upcoming elections, but also earnings season and a Federal Reserve interest rate decision. The race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is too close to call in the final days before the vote. For the most part, currency traders are betting on wider swings, with fluctuations for the yuan, Mexican peso and euro increasing on uncertainty about trade and tariffs. Oil prices rise after OPEC Plus agreed to push back its December production increase by 1 month and tensions escalate in West Asia. The group had intended to begin returning 180,000 barrels a day from next month, but they will now keep supply restrained for the rest of the year. Meanwhile, Iran escalated its rhetoric against Israel, warning of a crushing response. Oil prices have become increasingly volatile. Concerns of oversupply next year and lackluster demand in top importer are weighing on the liquid gold. US tech companies have warned on Vietnam government's new draft law. They fear it would hamper social media platforms and data center operators from growing their businesses in the country. The Southeast Asian nation with a population of 100 million is one of the world's largest markets for Facebook and other online platforms. The country aims to increase its data center industry with foreign investment in the coming years. According to officials, the draft law is designed to ease authorities' access to information and was urged by the Ministry of Public Security. E-commerce platforms in India record approximately $11.9 billion in sales during the month-long festive season that concluded last week. This marks an increase of over 20% from last year. Demand from non-metro consumers, coupled with increased interest in luxury brands, drove this growth. This season's increase in sales, estimated at over 23%, continued the growth trends seen in previous years. The first week accounted for more than half of the total festive sales. Increased demand from Taiwan and other cities boosted across various categories, including smartphones, home appliances, fashion and groceries. With the US election turning out to be one of the most tightly contested in recent memory, gold prices increased to new heights last week, putting them on track for the greatest year since 1979. Many investors anticipate additional advances in gold prices near record highs due to its appeal as a safe haven asset. The demand has expanded beyond the early leaders, central banks and Chinese buyers. This comes as investors seek refuge from market uncertainty in the run-up to Tuesday's election. The rally is expected to continue regardless of the winner. WhatsApp has banned over 100,000 bad accounts in India in September, with 1.6 million accounts proactively removed before any user complains. According to its monthly compliance report under India's 2021 IT rules, the report noted that WhatsApp received more than 8,000 user issues from India. To catch misuse, WhatsApp monitors accounts at 3 points, that is during registration, while messaging and after receiving negative feedback. A team of experts also reviews complex cases to support this detection. The Walt Disney Company has launched a new division called the Office of Technology Enablement to explore advanced technologies like AI, augmented reality and mixed reality. This initiative, it aims to enhance experiences in Disney's movies, television and theme park segments. A team of specialists will lead this innovation, focusing on immersive experiences that blend physical and digital realms seamlessly. Meanwhile, reports indicate that tech companies have sold around 1.7 million AR/VR headsets this year, highlighting growing interest in these immersive technologies. According to a recent report, AI-driven cyber attacks have become the leading cybersecurity threat for businesses in the third quarter of 2024. The report has also highlighted two other major risks, including the growing dependence on IT vendors and an uncertain regulatory landscape regarding AI as the US election approaches. Companies are now struggling to assess potential risks from various scenarios.